reports on the skills gap that is leaving so many good jobs unfilled.
We are supporting partnerships between employers and local governments and nonprofits to help unemployed workers who've been sidelined for too long. So earlier this year, I asked Joe to lead an across-the-board reform of all of our federal training programs to make sure they've got one clear mission: train Americans with the skills employers need. It's never been more important to make sure that our folks are trained for the jobs that are there and for the jobs of the future.
Right after high school, I went to LA Trade Tech in construction. I had the opportunity to do everything from digging the foundation to actually pounding the address on the end of the house. Construction kind of slowed down. I went into the hardware business. Then I went into plumbing and irrigation. When the recession hit, irrigation and landscaping kind of bottomed out. I got laid off, and that was a horrible feeling. Lost my company vehicle, collected unemployment, just kind of a little helpless feeling there. And my last job that I worked at where I got laid off was when I found out that my wife had cancer and we lost our insurance. Well, my wife has always had epilepsy and been disabled. But finding out about the cancer was just devastating. That's when I figured, hey, I'm gonna even go out and mow lawns, deliver newspapers, do whatever I have to do. Was pretty desperate. I wasn't getting the hits. Probably could have been due to my age. So I found out about the WorkSource program, and that was like, thank God. At JVS WorkSource, there's people there that can help you. There's unlimited use of the computer, the fax machine, the telephone.
JVS has partnered with employers to do short-term training programs and to understand exactly what the employers are looking for.
That gave me some hope. I learned interviewing. I learned how to make a decent resume. I heard about the BankWorks program. I called Lisa Meadows. We interviewed over the phone.
What caught me was the fact that he had that sales experience, which I know our bankers love.
The BankWorks training helped me make the transition to the banking industry because I had no idea what it was going to be like.
There were certain hard skills we taught him about bank regulations and policies and procedures. But I think most of all, Jim caught on to the culture of banking.
Then upon graduation, we had a job fair.
It's a really special opportunity for our students to interview right there at graduation from BankWorks with these recruiters.
I think it's always best when our managers attend the graduation, because then they can really see the potential that's out there and the talent.
I had multiple interviews with Bank America. They seemed to express interest in me. So I went home and waited, and within a matter of weeks, boom, I got an email from Tracy that said, we'd love to hire you full time. And that was the greatest feeling ever. I was able to get full insurance for my wife. When I get in my car in the morning and I'm on my way to work, I feel great.
He was promoted within the first year to a senior teller.
What I like most about working at the bank is the responsibility that I have and interacting with customers. I love finding solutions to their problems, helping them out financially.
What I like about James is that he comes with ideas to the table.
Michael is great. He knows me personally and the situation I have, but he's also just a great manager and a great leader. When I think about my future with Bank of America, I don't see any limitation.
He's an inspiration to his teammates because he has climbed a career path in his second chosen career.
I'm really grateful to BankWorks because, well, I have a stable income, I have a career.
It was a real turning point in his life.
I saw my graduation picture, and I'm standing by the podium, and they have the tagline, and I'm holding the microphone. And I looked at that, and it said, JVS, building better lives, one job at a time. And I was like, wow, that's certainly true for me.
After high school, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do, so I decided to join the military, the Air Force. I was in logistics, also known as inventory management. I was responsible for acquiring parts for aircraft. getting all the supplies and equipment for the Officers Club, NCO Club, the Rec Center. I was separated from the military with honorable discharge as a sergeant, E4. I got accepted at Cal State Fullerton. At the same time, I had a full-time job working with the Metro, or MTA. I still was kind of a child when I got out.
Whenever these veterans get out, they have no guidance.
Basically, I let school go. I held various office-type jobs, got into the restaurant business. I helped run a property management business. I was basically living, I guess I call it pillar to post, from one person's house to another, living on the couches of certain people. I was frustrated because I knew what my potential was. I knew what I was capable of, and I just wasn't living up to that standard. I've never been able to complete something. I went to school, didn't get a degree. I've never been able to follow through or be consistent. I didn't manage my money properly. I was just burnt out, stuck, barely making it. I went to the VA just hoping to get what they call VASH housing, which is basically Section 8. Daniel Kim, my counselor at the VA, referred me to the JVS Veterans First program, which is located at the Workforce Center.
As a former captain in the U.S. Marine Corps, I'm really pleased to be a part of the Veterans First program. We start from a place of caring, and then we look to provide training or assistance, supportive services for the individual veterans and help place them in a career. I knew that Edward was struggling. I knew Edward was in a tough place. He was a homeless vet needing support and finding work. I also knew that he had tremendous potential to do well.
They basically gave me access to computers, job leads, worked one-on-one with Anthony.
We were able to help Edward with initially some assessments in terms of his skill sets, his strengths. We were able to work on his resume.
Being in the military, I know it's all about the mission, but in civilian world, you have to show what you can do, how you're going to benefit the company.
Edward appreciated that I could see who he was.
They bring to light seeing something in you and letting you know to remind you that you're capable, you're confident, you're able. From one vet to another, he could tell me something, and I don't think I'd be offended.
What I like about this one is that
the mock interviews with Anthony and just the coaching that he gave me just made me feel more secure about myself.
Edward had a background in property management. Patty finds this great job.
Everything just fell into place, and Edward got the job within 4 days.
It was just an awesome feeling. It was a feeling I think I haven't felt in a long time. I had nowhere even imagined, getting a job as a general manager of a 532-unit condominium complex in Playa del Rey. I am a supervisor. I oversee the landscaping department, housekeeping. I'm charged with hiring outside plumbers, different vendors. I'm dealing with floods, insurance companies.
That's probably the best job I've ever had. Really? Yeah, it's kind of challenging at times, but it's never a dull moment.
I try to get to know all the residents by name.
I've seen a lot of managers come and go, and Ed does exceptionally well.
We have 532 units, so that's 532 opinions. He's very, very diplomatic.
Well, the military taught me to deal with different personalities, to deal with constant crisis, to stay calm and just get the job done. It's a thrill to get up and go to work every day.
I was so proud of him.
The Veterans First program made a huge, huge, huge change in my life.
I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I spent a little time in Mississippi and Nebraska, but I've been living in California since the age of 8. In my home with my mom, I suffered physical abuse, and I went through sexual abuse with family members. Unfortunately, most of the things I remember are really bad things. At the age of 10, my teacher and principal called the police, and they took us away. I lived in sort of a modern-day orphanage called McLaren Children's Center. I was sometimes placed in different foster homes, went through a lot of troubles, and unfortunately some continued abuse. I would run away and go back to McLaren because it's where I felt safest. The most difficult thing for me growing up in foster care system had to be knowing that I didn't really belong to anyone. Realizing, no, I really don't have, a mom. I was real doubtful of myself, not sure of what I could accomplish. For about 10 years, I did daycare. I was out of work for maybe 5 or 6 years. I was on Social Security disability, getting AFDC for my son, feeling like my life was pretty much over. I was really hurting and down. Just one day of happened to walk into JVS. Just one day literally changed my life. I had a meeting with the JVS case manager. She thought I would be a great candidate for the program.
She got to HealthWorks actually through the WorkSource centers. HealthWorks is a free certified nurse assistant training program. Our training partner is the American Red Cross, and it has both theory and also hands-on training at a skilled nursing facility. By the time they're done, they've already received 171 hours of training.
It changed my perception of myself a lot when I saw that I could accomplish things, and I learned to be proud of myself. After I completed the program, I went to Marina Care in Culver City, a convalescent rehab for 23 months when I applied for Cedars-Sinai. When I got the job at Cedars-Sinai, I was ecstatic.
She's just been an absolutely outstanding employee. She comes with a smile on her face. After talking to you, Felicia, I really just thought that you would really be a good asset to the patients. So I had put it down for you to be hired for our floor.
It's just amazing to be here today. It's a world-renowned hospital, and I want to work for the best. The thing I love most about my job is the relationships that you get to have with the patients and your coworkers.
She spends time with them. She notices if they're anxious, and she just gives them that extra little TLC that patients like.
Having a stable career has definitely allowed me to offer my son more opportunities. My next goal for my long-term career path will be to become an RN.
She has great potential to go on to whatever she wants to do.
You don't know how many hospital rooms you'll be in, and there'll be no family there. You don't have to say anything. Some of those patients may not understand what you say, but they understand the love that flows from hand to hand. I don't have my own family. I haven't since a very young age. But those patients have truly become my family. I'm proud of being a part of JVS, and I'm thankful for all you wonderful donors who give people a chance, who invest in strangers that you don't even know. It's amazing to have some hope for tomorrow.
JVS is like a bridge. Veterans, the long-term unemployed, people living in chronic poverty.
It's important for for-profit companies like Bank of America to find strategic partnerships with organizations like JVS to really meet the needs of the community.
It's teaching people how to reach for a big career.
Veterans First, I know that it changed his life. It literally changed his life.
JVS gave me the tools to better myself. It gave me dreams back that I long forgot.